Hi guys, Piotr here, it's LiteFinance Global YouTube channel, and it's my pleasure to discuss with you S&P 500. Yes, the main US index. And well, to be honest with you, it's quite a challenge, because if you are well-born bear trader, then it could be the way that we might have a trouble. On the other hand, taking into consideration the money flow we've seen lately, well, that's quite significant thing, and well, we are going to try to think both ways. What I'm talking about here is, well, I am very well born bear, but when it comes to the indices, I'm trying to avoid the situation and trying to short each and every top. So what we are going to discuss today is the very long-term, medium, as well as a short-term charts when it comes to the S&P 500. So let's have a look what we have when it comes to the S&P 500 long-term chart, and what you have here, what we are going to start with the discussion. Our discussion is the monthly chart. In that case, well, I would think about a few things. So trying to predict the top, because overall, guys, we are within the very big bull market, right? No doubt about it. And if you are trying to short each and every top, right, probably we are already out of everything. Anyway, let's have a look and discuss a few interesting things. First thing first, when you trying to predict the next top, let's have a look what we have. The biggest upside wave, all right? That was the biggest upside wave. And you know what? If we are going to discuss this with the latest bottom, it was almost to the point. Now, let's go further from this. Let's have a look what we have when it comes to the pullback. All right, in that case, the pullback been a little bit bigger. So, taking into the consideration the monthly chart, what I'm talking about is that once we went through the latest high, again, guys, what is important, this wave down, double wave down, wave up, but we haven't seen double wave up. So let's have a look what we have. How high can we go? In that case, wave up, double wave up. Whoa, Piotr, are you trying to tell me that we are approaching the top? Well, I have no clue, but based on these equal waves, yes, we do have a chance for a pullback. If that's the top, or if that's something we are very close to the top, all right? So let's check the few interesting things, all right? Look, guys, for this pullback over here, if we are going to take into the consideration Riley pullback, right? That's fine, but we already seen on the monthly chart. That's very important. That's the very key, guys. we already seen the pullback towards the first initial demand zone. So what next? Going forward, if we are going to try to see what is going on, broken swing high, demand zone based on Riley, right? We have significant zone around double pullback, guys, double pullback. So for now, based on the monthly chart, if we are talking about the bull's perspective rally, I would be very careful with the levels. I'm very bullish. Why? Because from current level 4,350 almost, I would like to see the pullback down towards a significant swing high area. We are talking about the levels close to 3,400, 3,300. Well, if you are a perma bull, then you may think, well, that guy has no clue what he is talking about. What I'm trying to tell you is that I would avoid to try to buy very shallow dips. Yes, I do like the ideas with the very deep pullbacks to try to go long with the very significant levels when it comes to the higher highs. That's how I see the things when it comes to the bull market on the monthly chart. On the other hand, if you are a bear and you are trying to figure it out where the top might be in place, then you want to consider some bottoms, some tops, and some significant levels to be broken to the downside before trying to approach the short side. In that case, well, let's have a look what we have. We have the bottom around the September 2016, then we have very shallow pullback when it comes to the very beginning of the 2018, right? Then we've seen the rally, but what is very important here is the behavior of the market when we hit again the trend line. This time, after the breakdown, we hit the top, which was equal to the bottom of the trend line, right? So if you are a conservative bear, then what do you want to see? You want to see the breakdown. You want to see the breakdown of the trend line. You want to see this type of the move. You want to see retest again of the demand zone, and you want to see retest of the bullish trend line from the bottom. This type of the setup, based on the monthly chart, that could be your bearish setup. All right. So what I'm trying to tell you, based on the very long-term move, we want to see significant break to the downside through the rising trend line, retest of the trend line from the bottom. We want to see the rally back to the broken trend line, and then we might try to consider the short side of the move. All right, so that's what we have when it comes to the longest chart. We are talking here about the monthly chart. Let's have a look what we have when it comes to the lower time frame. Let's switch down to the weekly chart. Let's have a look what we have here, guys. Well, why? Because it's very, very significant development, and I'm going to try to explain you what we should look for if you are a bull, what we should look for if you are a bear. Alright, so after the significant upside break, alright, significant upside break, here we've seen the rally without any kind of the retracement, any kind of the pullback towards the broken consolidation zone. So in that case, I think this swing low, that swing low, that swing low after the upside break, and those two lower shadows, I think that's where we do have plenty of the stops waiting to be taken out from the market. So lately we were trading 4,350 as the high. In my opinion, this type of the pullback, taking out all of these stops discussed here, could be in place. How do I know that? Alright, let's simply check the most significant pullback we've seen during the first wave of the COVID. Alright, so if I think we might approach the top, so what I'm gonna do, I'm going to try to place the rising trend line after the latest upside break, weekly chart, blue line. All right, I'm going to try to place another line showing that we are approaching significant supply level. Then, taking into the consideration wave to the downside during the first wave of the COVID, I'm going to try to make this type of the pullback. Guys, well, it's always simple as that. That's gonna be 50% of the pullback towards the latest consolidation. So if you are a buyer, you are awaiting latest weakness. So in that case, we are talking about the levels below 3,300, right? If you are a seller, then you have to be very, very patient. You want to see the failure at the top. What kind of the failure you want to see? Well, it's very, very possible that we are going to see some kind of the head and shoulder formation before we are going to see significant move to the downside. So in that case, if you are a bear, you don't want to chase the market, you don't want to be the front runner, you want to see some kind of the price action around the 4,500, 4,550, telling you that okay, this time it could be the bear move, that the bears are going to try to take over, but not earlier than 4,500, 4,550. All right, let's switch again a little bit lower. Let's have a look what we have when it comes to the short term. Well, switch to the daily chart. All right, so we do have some lines based on the weekly chart. We are seeing that, all right, it could really make the difference. Let's place few lines. Latest, biggest rally. Let's have a look what we have here. If we are going to take into the consideration the latest swing low, if we are going to take into the considerations unfinished the business over here, right? So this rally and the size of the potential rally, well, that's telling us the whole story. Guys, we do have whole story. So don't be the front runner. Be conservative, be patient. Let's have a look how the market is going to develop, what is going to happen around the 4,500, 4,550. If we are going to see the bearish price action over here, I strongly believe that's gonna be the support, the very deep of that rising pendulum, whatever we wanna call it, right? The levels close to 3,900 and below, that's gonna be the significant demand zone. In that case, trying to visualize what we are talking about here, it could be the rally creating the significant left shoulder pullback, head, and then shoulder, right shoulder, and moving lower. So in that case, retest of that level and going even lower down towards what we discuss on based on the weekly chart, 3,500. That could be the target. But with that being said, you have to be very, very careful. Trying to summarize what we discussed. Well, no doubt about that. The bulls are in control. Each and every dip been bought till now. So let's have a look what is going to happen around 4,500, 4,550, taking into the consideration that we are approaching the earnings season. I'm very curious what might happen, and I'm going to watch it very, very carefully. I'm going to try to buy the dips, but from the higher time frame perspective, I'm going to watch what kind of the price action we are witnessing. That's gonna be very, very significant thing if you are considering trading from the higher perspective. I'm pretty sure we are going to get back into that discussion. For now, I strongly encourage you, leave the comment below and tell us what you think about the possible scenarios. Don't be in a rush, be patient, be careful, do your own homework and research before you do real trading. Guys, it was my pleasure. Again, wish you all the best with the next trading decision. See you around, take care and goodbye.